its own race war!
What's happening, hot stuff? I can't pull that off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Breaking Badger News. I'm your host, as always, the John Skin, Simpsons Kin, Friendly Neighborhood, yada yada yada, Max Darrett. And joining me for this particular edition of the show is the boss.
Never gets old.
For any of you who have ever played Metal Gear Solid, you'd understand that reference and why it's so appropriate. Ladies and gentlemen, we just wanted to bring you a quick discussion about a particular story that I'm sure you've all heard about before, just to start off your day. Obviously, we're all familiar with the YouTube personality by the name of PewDiePie, and oddly enough, he's back in the news again because, to use his own words, he hasn't learned anything. Well, it seems that while doing a live stream while playing a video game by a company, I guess, known as Player Unknown, a game called Battlegrounds, he uttered a certain racial epithet that I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with. I won't personally say it just because I don't like the way, how some words you say them and they just sound gross on your tongue. For me, it's that and D-bag, stuff like that. But you know what I'm talking about, the N-word, right? He said that during a particularly stressful multiplayer situation, and because apparently Mr. PewDiePie doesn't understand how the internet works, he said that, and the whole internet has gone ablaze. And it's gotten to such a point where there are several news articles being written on both gaming websites and regular news websites trying to condemn this guy. And as well, there are people that are so disgusted by what he did that they're threatening to DMCA his content. One guy in particular is a man named Sean Vanaman. Now, Sean Vanaman, in case you don't know who he is, he's the guy who's responsible for creating the game Firewatch. And on Twitter, after this whole thing happened, he wanted to, I guess you can say, virtue signal to a bunch of people saying that PewDiePie is worse than a closeted racist and a propagator of despicable garbage that does real damage to the culture around this industry. And at the moment, he's trying to DMCA his videos just to make sure that PewDiePie can't make any money off of them. So, Allison, I'm going to throw this over to you because my opinion on this particular subject is probably a little bit more controversial. So I want to get everybody buttered for that.
Buttered is okay, and I'm the butterer. All right. Well, first of all, I think that this is a pretty minuscule kind of tempest in a teapot that's going on. I understand that there are a lot of people who find that word to be deeply offensive. However, I would make an argument that the only way to destigmatize something is to own it. And to be honest, I think the use outside of its original context starts to take the teeth out of the word. I mean, Mike has a tendency to call me a snow nigger because I'm Canadian. And I went there. Okay, you can edit that out if it's too much, but
no. Like, I was just about to ask which Mike.
Oh, sorry, Dr. Randomer Cam.
Oh, Dr. Randomer Cam. Okay.
Yeah, I know, and we horrified a Dutch reporter when I said that, and he's like, "Oh, but isn't that a horrible thing to say to someone?" And I'm like, I don't care. If that's how he feels about me, I understand. Mike. I do.
Well, it's a term of endearment. When somebody calls you a D-bag in New Jersey, that's actually, they're trying to tell you that they love you.
Yeah, I suppose, like pulling my pigtails or some shit. But anyway, so I think that there's an argument to be made that destigmatizing the word will create an overall benefit for everyone. The question is, and when I've had arguments over faggot in particular as a word, and I say, well, people are using it completely divorced from its original context. And they're even using it as almost an honorific when you're talking about old fags on the internet. That's a bizarre kind of honorific. You honor the old fags because they're old fags. But so I've gotten into this argument over what we should do with that word. And in my opinion, making it so that it's completely divorced from its original context removes all of its teeth. And in some ways, I wonder why people don't want to do that. Why do you want to keep its power? Why don't you want to turn it into something that's basically a joke? Or completely has no power over the group that it originally had power over because it's so general? to the point where people are like, look at you weird when you use it in its original context. That's my thoughts.
Well, arguably, I think the reason why people might want to maintain its power has to do with the postmodern reverence regarding hierarchies and dominance hierarchies. Like, if they can give something to the black community that they can use against white people, then that means, you know, they're taking down white people from their privileged position in society. I don't know. That's just my speculation, though. My thoughts on this are, I'll make them quick. They're twofold, and just hear me out, because you're going to agree with me by the time I'm done. It's going to sound bad the way I started off, but just bear with me, okay? On the one side, PewDiePie's an idiot. He is. Because, look, he has 57 million subscribers. A lot of those subscribers are 14-year-old kids. And if you're going to set an example by saying racial epithets, you got to be expecting some blowback from that. It's just, I'm not sure why he didn't expect this thing to go completely overboard, especially with what happened to him regarding the whole Wall Street Journal scandal. But on the other side, I completely agree with Allison. We got to try and figure out a way to destigmatize the word. We have to realize that PewDiePie, I have no doubt in my mind that he has no sense of racial hatred in his heart. He was just saying it because he wanted to be edgy, because he was angry in the moment. And anybody who understands gaming culture knows that that happens all the time. So, on the one hand, a more pragmatic view of things, PewDiePie, he shouldn't have said that, because look at what happened. It's just a PR nightmare for him. But on the other hand, there's the moral and, you know, more long-term view of things, and I actually completely agree with Allison.
Well, thank you. And that's not because, you know, I pay him. Maybe it is, though. Anyway, so the other thing that I was wondering is maybe he does know, and this is just an elaborate double-layer troll by PewDiePie.
He has been known to troll. I remember, like, there was a video that he released a couple weeks ago where the thumbnail was of Anita Sarkeesian, and the title of the video was "The level of gamer skill displayed in this video is off the charts" or something. And I couldn't stop laughing for like 5 minutes straight, because he, you know, I don't know, maybe because like in a recent live stream.
How did such an innocent flower get drawn into our bullshit?
Well, I mean, that's what I ask myself every single morning when I get up. It's like, how did an innocent flower like me get dragged into this whole world of social justice bullshit? You know.
Well, I was actually referring to PewDiePie, but.
Oh, he's not an innocent flower. He's Swedish. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, my friend Natri, who lives in Sweden, is going to kill me for that.
Okay.
But
no, but finish your thought.
Anyways,
finish your thought before we leave.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Sargon of Akkad, he did a live stream, I believe it was yesterday, called Felix, or PewDiePie Starts the Race War, and in it he said that he was DMing PewDiePie. I don't know if that's actually true or not, or Sargon was just messing with us, but apparently PewDiePie said he was going to originally just lay low and wait until this stuff blew over, but then he made an apology video where he himself called himself an idiot. It's a very, very tricky situation that PewDiePie finds himself in, especially because he's within the culture of celebrity and he's the biggest YouTube star, and every single decision that he has to make has to be carefully calculated, and it shouldn't be like that. So I completely sympathize with PewDiePie in this situation, although I do think that if he wanted to try to be edgy, it just doesn't seem to me like he was very conscious of what he was doing in that particular moment, and unfortunately, you know, look at how the internet works.
Well, this is not necessarily the internet. This is all media. I was looking at this, like, don't they have better things to report on?
No, of course not. All the media, it's either, you know, Gamergators, supposed Gamergators,
supposed Nazis,
or Trump's Twitter feed.
Yeah, Trump is a
supposed
Nazi.
Nazis.
And Trump supporters are Nazis.
I'm looking at you, The Guardian. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for us today. Thanks so much for joining us. If you liked this particular video, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and make sure to leave your comments down below. We'd love to read what you guys have to say, whether you agree or disagree. If Wow, my voice just cracked. Excuse me.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, it's very early in the morning when we're recording this. I haven't gotten all the phlegm out of my system. If you want to see more discussion on this particular subject with more people that are definitely a lot more enlightened than myself, make sure to click in the links down below to the Polecat Cast where we discuss this in more depth. Also, make sure to click on the link in the top left corner where you can go to badgerfeed.com where you can actually see more discussion on this as well. And also, Allison, do you want to shill Feed the Badger?
Yes. If you enjoy this content, come and become a supporter or patron. We have wonderful patron rewards, including getting to talk to us in our Discord. Well, just me. Nobody else. That sucks. That shill sucks. Okay, no, it's awesome. It's great. It's fun. It's lots of people talking. Lots of fun. Okay.
There's lots of gambling, lots of topless dancing. There's none of that.
Hookers and blow. No.
Hookers and blow.
www.feedthebadger.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us today. That'll do it for us. And until next time, have a lovely, lovely day.